Greetings everyone, it's me, Chris, aka ThePhilosophersGames, and I just watched the first 3 episodes of Season 2 of The Rings of Power. This is of course not a full analysis yet. There will be a live stream later this day where we will look in depth into the episode and I share my thoughts there. I will make some videos here and there, but as said, I also just watched them today. I had no press access or whatever, so it takes some time to get everything done. And I just want to ask you people, what were your impressions of the first 3 episodes? Let me know in the comments. Please stay civil. So for those who have not seen it yet, so here are my short spoiler-free impressions of the first 3 episodes. Overall, I have to say, I'm very positive. I expected that the show would get better with Season 2, and it did. A lot of things I criticized for Season 1 got, in my opinion, better in Season 2. Of course, Season 2 is still based on Season 1. As a result, some weird lore stuff that was introduced or some changing of order when which ring is forged and so on, this does not really change. They just continue that. You have to live with that. And they also add some other, let's say, strange lore stuff. If you are into the books, you might dislike here and there. But as said, that was kind of to be expected. They introduced new characters and I like them, which is already good. There, as said, are some controversial scenes here and there for lore fans for sure. One also including Gil-galad, though I have to admit, in some of the other scenes, I suddenly start to like him a bit better. So they improved here even in this area, which is for me the biggest surprise, I think. And further, you also notice that the show is not plagued by the COVID restrictions anymore. Suddenly places seem much more alive, you have more extras in the background, everything seems a bit bigger and so on. And as a result, it loses a bit this theatrical play feeling that the show had in the first season, which I think is a good thing that it's now better. Also, what improved is for the most part the writing. There's still some stuff that is definitely debatable, but I feel like a lot of these scenes had this, a character is somewhere and then something happens, an interaction with another character, for example, and then something develops out of it. It sounds so simple and should be like this everywhere, but Season 1 had problems with this and now it got better, so that is good. I would still say there are some somewhat questionable writing decisions here and there still in the show, but I would definitely call it an improvement, and that's a good thing. But what I'm worried a bit is that they already started a big plotline in Numenor already, and I think it's just the introduction, but I hope it's not going too far in this plotline, because then it might be too big for this season, and then we get again similar problems we had in the first season. That would not be so great. If we come back to the book lore, it is still fanfiction what the show has to tell us. Unfortunately, of course, and of course there have to be some changes, especially if you compress time so heavily. There are also some elements that get kind of damaged or have to be changed. The question is now, is it good fanfiction or at least entertaining fanfiction? And in Season 1, that was kind of not always the case, but I think Season 2 could actually get better in this regard. Still, I had a good time watching these 3 episodes and looking forward for the next one, and that is actually pretty much a compliment. I think we now come to the very brief and short spoiler section, for which you should have seen the first 3 episodes, and I will start with the following spoiler. Círdan. Círdan is in the show, which is awesome. We have seen him in material before, but if you haven't checked anything, you potentially could be surprised. And I really like his character. I find it strange that he shaved his beard, but I guess that is totally possible. And also the way he does it with his shell, that I found actually a pretty neat idea, to be honest. I don't know why he has to shave his beard, but whatever. We will maybe find out whatever the reason is. Further, I enjoyed his dialogue with Elrond because he took his concerns seriously and then also decided to just take the rings and throw them into the ocean. And if I interpret this scene correctly, the ocean repelled it. That you could say, yeah, that's kind of stupid that the ocean repels the rings. But I think if you interpret it as a sign of the Valar or of the Valar Ulmo, the Lord of Waters, that the rings don't belong into the ocean but to Middle Earth, and that she should take them. And either destroy them by other means or use them to do something good with it. So then I can definitely see why Círdan changed his mind here and then brought the rings to Gil-galad and let them use the rings. Though I can also understand the perspective of Elrond here, who is concerned that the enemy potentially has something to do with the designs of these rings, and then they would be dangerous and they should not use them. So it's a very good point here. I also kind of like the Isildur section because it reminded me a bit of the Silmarillion stories about Beren. There were the Spider Mountains in Beren's story, and also he had to go to this bandit camp to get something back that was very important to him, his ring. Here in Isildur's case, it is his horse, but still, I don't know, it felt familiar in a strange way, which I kind of liked. Also, it's noticeable that they must have negotiated the rights to some more names that are not in The Lord of the Rings, like Anatar. It's pretty cool that the name Anatar actually appears here, and there were also some other names where I was not sure. Are they really in The Lord of the Rings, like Rumil or Daeron? But I guess, yeah, both appear there, so that would not be the problem. But Anatar, for example, does definitely not appear in the Silmarillion. Also, I think that's the first time we see an orc female and even an orc baby, though I think if you count the Gollum game, there was also like orc babies in a different format. Let's not talk about that. So, yeah, some interesting details and stuff there. There's more to discover, which we will do definitely later. It's already too long here because I need to rest a little bit and then we maybe later do the live stream today. I hope to see you there and thank you people for watching. See you then.